Kareem in Missouri. Kareem, I think you've got maybe a somewhat dark worldview here. Tell us about it.
What's the word? Yeah, so how y'all doing today? So basically, I just want to say that we're all psychologically and emotionally abused mammals, and we live on the rock, and we're all going to die.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that there is certainly truth to that. I often employ a psychological field of study that we know as existential psychotherapy, where we recognize that every living creature, on some level, at least every conscious creature, has to cope with the fact that they're going to die someday. And trying to understand that reality and trying to make sense of that reality is a ongoing crisis for every one of us, kind of at all times, always, whether we choose to live in denial and kind of push back against those ideas, whether we get stuck in rumination and kind of fall in to the existential void where we obsessively ruminate on death. There's also a middle path where you can find a lot of joy and gratitude for the fact that you are not currently dead. And as to your point about emotional abuse and suffering, I think it's also true that all creatures suffer, that suffering is a part of life, and that can make us feel really isolated. That can be, by definition, very painful. And it can also bring us together. It helps us to recognize that suffering is something that all living things do. It can help us to feel connected to other people who are also experiencing suffering. And it lets us know that we're alive. You know, the day that you stop experiencing pain is the day that you are dead. So if you're feeling pain right now, it doesn't mean that you are a bad person who deserves it. It doesn't mean that you are doing a bad job. It just means that life can be very hard. Hopefully that helps to graph onto some of what you're discussing, Kareem. What do you think?
Yes, sir. And I also believe that obviously the humans they're the only ones who know that we're gonna die, right?
I don't know that that's true. No. I think there's a lot of reason to believe that there are many other creatures on this planet that experience an awareness of their own death. Now, what their awareness is, how much we can anthropomorphize that. I mean, I might point you to a really fascinating book that our friend Kara Griffin turned me on to called "Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are?" It's a great piece of work by a Dutch ethologist that might help to disagree with the points that you're making there, but why does it matter that humans are the only creatures that know that that they're going to die, if that is in any way the case, which I don't believe it to be?
Because I mean, even though that we're classified as mammals, I don't believe that we are animals. That's right.
Okay, sure. So what you believe is that humans are not part of the animal kingdom. Why?
Yeah, to crib from Forest of Alki, we are too squishy to be plants, and we move too much to be fungus. So we are probably animals.
That fits for me. Yeah.
I don't know.
Kareem, why do you disagree?
That's why. Well, I believe, humans. I mean, unless you classify yourself as an animal, we all human. We all son of Adam.
Sure. I mean, I am a human. I am not especially well versed in biology, but I do understand myself to be a member of the species Homo sapien. I do believe that puts us in the great apes family of animals inside the animal kingdom.
That's you.
Okay.
Yourself.
Right. So you've said it a couple times now, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, Kareem, but you've said you're not an animal. I'm not an animal. We're all humans. That's a separate category.
Right.
How do you know that? Why do you believe that? What is your reason for believing that? And don't tell me it's because we're the only creatures that know that we're going to die.
It's also because we can read and write, but that's not the only thing. The fact of the matter is we have a separate category.
Humans 100,000 years ago didn't know how to read or write, as far as we know, broadly speaking, depending on how we define those terms. Caveat. But
all babies and toddlers aren't human until you speak your first words and read your first. You're not a human until you can read.
That's what. I think you underestimate human beings.
I don't underestimate infants. I think they have remarkable potential and incredible beauty, and I think it is just miraculous that they get to be here, right? That somehow a sperm and an ovum in the right environment with the right materials is able to develop into a human being. And that sperm and ovum came from other human beings that came from other creatures that go back and back and back. I mean, this is all amazing. I don't underestimate it. I just categorize animals, I think, maybe differently than you do, because I think animals are remarkable. All of my best friends are animals.
Yeah. And the term animal and taxonomy, let me just get in on this. Taxonomy in general are arbitrary boxes that we've put things in. They are descriptive, not prescriptive. And the description that we have given to animals, to the animal set, to mammals, to great apes, fits us on a scientific level. And all biologists of worth their salt would say that. You know, laugh all you like. But here's my problem with this attitude of we are higher beings, we are more advanced, better, special, etc. It keys into that empathy. If we're so gosh dang special, why should we care about anything else unless it suits our whims? And I think a lot of the specialness of humans that's ingrained into a lot of especially religious teachings has meant that we are masters of this earth, we command them, go forth and multiply, these animals are yours. And so we basically just take what we want, no thought for the actual ecosystem, no thought for the actual animal kingdom. And I think that if we started accepting that we are just an animal, a smart animal, an animal that has a lot of tools at our disposal and that kind of thing. But when we start accepting that we are animals and therefore we are not on this planet, we are part of this planet, part of this ecosystem, maybe, just maybe, we'll actually survive the next 100 years without dying of global warming or of a lack of stuff that we need, or overpopulation, or underfeeding, or any of the myriad problems that we have because people are so gosh darn selfish. We are animals, and we should start acting like it by living within our environment.
You know what I mean?
What?
No, we do not. We sincerely do not know what you mean.
We're not going to debate. I'm saying I don't want to debate you on the difference. Honestly, you could tell the difference between human and animal. I don't have to say
Okay, then what is it that you believe and why, Kareem? You called the show.
I believe.
Why? What is it that you're here to
God
debate? What is it that you are here to tell us? What is it that you believe?
I'm not.
Why do you believe it? That is your two-part question, and I'm going to throw 60 seconds up on the clock here in just a moment. I'm going to not interrupt you. You called in this show, so get ready. You got 60 seconds. What is it that you do believe, and why do you believe it?
I don't need 60 seconds. I was having a conversation on the time frame of when I could talk about. Basically,
go ahead and start.
God's there to benefit you, right? So God's there to benefit you. He's not there to harm you. And anyone who suggests otherwise is just not there. They don't want the benefit for you. They don't want your benefit.
I think he maybe should have used the full minute. Jamie, did you get anything to respond to out of that? Was there information there?
I heard they want the benefit, they don't want the good, they don't want the I don't know, literally don't know what you're talking about, mate.
I believe that God is there to benefit you. He's not there to harm you. So anyone.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's a thing that you believe. That's half of my question. Thank you so much. You believe that there is a God and he's here to benefit me. Why do you think that?
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe that God is not there to benefit you? Honestly.
Well, depending on what you're talking about, God, many gods that I've heard of are going to damn me to eternal torture for not believing in them. So no, they're not benefiting me. How about your God?
I believe in one God, so I'm pretty sure I believe that we all have belief in the same God. You know, it's been like that since the beginning of time.
I don't believe in your God, Kareem.
No,
you believe in a God. Why do you believe in this God? Why do you believe in this God? Please let the next words out of your mouth not be a question, not be a meandering, not be a comment on the question itself. Please let the next words out of your mouth be, I believe that there is a God because...
I came from something, you know. I didn't come from nothing.
Okay. Yep.
I
Nope.
believe
You
I'm
didn't
fit
come
for it.
from nothing. No, you came from
Yeah.
your parents. In short, your biological parents are where you came from, and they came from their biological
That's not
parents.
where.
And it's a
We
slow
can,
evolution of turtles all the way down.
I said we can at least acknowledge, logically speaking, that we didn't come from nothing, though, right?
Well,
Yes.
We can at least acknowledge that.
Depending
define
on
nothing.
how we define nothing.
Yeah, there's
and
a lot of
come
discussion
from,
around that.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell you what happened before the Planck time. Woe is me. But like, we're pretty sure of most of what happened since then. So
I don't know everything that happened in all of eternity always. I have some very, very, very vague notions about quote unquote the beginning of time. And I have a much more thorough understanding of, say, the last 100 years. But none of that gets me to God.
Use your logic, though. You can still use your reasoning, your logic. You understand?
That's why I don't believe in God.
Sure can. That's what we've been asking you to do for a few minutes here. I'll give you a kind of a last chance to make your point, Kareem. What is it? There are perhaps thousands of people listening to you as you speak. What would you like them to know about what you believe and why? What are your parting words to try and make this world a better place today?
Don't let people think for you. Think for yourself.
Please, by all means, let that be true. So say we all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kareem, for your time and for your thoughts. Keep searching and give us a call back if you've got more to add to the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, the whole God's there for my benefit. I really do have to say, like, which God? And
Yeah.
there's a good number out there that they've got a bullseye pointed on my forehead, and there's plenty of space for one, if they are real. And we can get into things like Pascal's wager and all this kind of thing, which God is real. I don't know. Seems like platitudes to me.
Sure. No, that's all fair.